Album review. Today's album is All Time Low Wake Up Sunshine. Today I'm joined
Woo!
by Aidan,
Aidan.
myself Denver, Joe,
I'm still at home.
and Will.
Hello. So, I think this is an incredible album. I think it's definitely my favourite all-time low album. It proper shocked me how good it was. Because I think a lot of bands like this, kind of after time, kind of start trying new things that just don't work for that band, aka Fall Out Boy, aka a few other bands. But like a bit like Panic at Disco, for me, the music just got better. Because, like, to be fair, I didn't used to like All Time Low that much, like in their proper old days, because I never got into it. But like as each album's come out, I've just got more and more into it. Because like the last album before this was my favorite All Time Low, and now this is my favorite All Time Low. So I think they're quite rare in that they've just, for me, got better and better. He's got like an insane voice, and I think that their transitions, like in the songs, work really well. But they have swayed a bit from like pop punk more, and it's gone a bit more poppy, but it's not full on. I think there's definitely a lot of variety in the actual album itself.
It's a lot more modern.
A lot more modern,
That's
yeah. They've definitely they've never kind of been behind, if you know what I mean. They've always made their music to fit with the times, but never swayed too far that it's just not them, which I really like.
Was there a tiny little cheeky opening of a bottle there? Did I hear?
No,
Did someone try and open something quietly?
no.
super quietly, just turning
I
the
didn't
lid.
even hear it, to be
No.
fair.
There, see? Stealth 100. Not that I did anything.
Super stealth. But I can honestly say I don't think there was any bad songs. I genuinely just thought it was really good. I think there's a couple weaker ones, don't get me wrong, but I don't think any of the songs were unbearable. I just think it was a really solid album. The worst for me was Pretty Venom, and that's just because it's a bit slow, and I don't really like the way they've kind of put the effect on the guitar. I didn't like that, and I just thought it was a bit lacking compared to some of the others. But another that was close to being that was what's it? Getaway Green. I thought that was a bit too much like their older stuff.
See, here's the
Which-
thing, Will, is I really thought you'd like what was the one that was your least favorite? Pretty Venom. Because I thought it reminded me of like not the singing, but the music reminded me of Post Malone. I thought you'd like that one because of that reason.
No,
No?
no,
It was all
No.
nice and like chill. Like Post Malone.
no, because I don't think like he's great. He's an amazing vocalist, but I also don't think his vocals kind of worked with that song.
No?
Like when he went like quite high pitch in the chorus or like the bridge, it was just I didn't like that very much.
Okay.
I just didn't think it kind of fit with them really.
But you like when Post Malone goes, "Eh."
I love when Post Malone does anything, to be honest. So
For God's sake.
Blinded.
Post Malone could like skin a sheep alive, and Will would still be like, "Yeah."
I'd get a second tattoo with a sheep on his head.
Oh God.
Perfect.
Cringe.
But I'll go to my top three. Third favourite, which could have been a few, was like I think I really like Summer Days, which could have been third. January Gloom could have been third. Trouble Is, but third for me was Glitter and Crimson. I think it had like a really good build up, like it was just solid vocally all the way throughout, and like the acoustic. I like how it went to acoustic for the chorus, and then which was like a nice change up because usually it'd be the other way around where it's like an acoustic verse and then built up for the chorus, whereas like it was the other way around, but it worked. And then just like the last minute of the song is just awesome. Second for me, which is probably their most modern attempt, I'd say, was Monsters feat Black Bear. I think that's got such like it proper surprised me because I didn't know what to expect with like Black Bear being on it because Like, do you know his TikTok song? I just couldn't imagine him being on an all-time low song, but it really worked. I think it did allowed for a lot of contrast and showed his voice off even more. It had an amazing chorus on that.
I would thought though that the verses were boring, and that was only what made the chorus great. Was that the rest of it was bad? In my opinion, I think that whole contrast thing of that it made, because I did put great chorus, but then I was like, is the chorus great because the verses are probably monsters? Yes. Sorry, forget that. I'm looking at the wrong song.
Forget everything that you just said.
Forget that.
Yep.
I'm on about Wake Up Sunshine.
You proper confused me there. I was like, what boring? I was like,
I did put slow verses though.
Oh no, that's bad.
And chorus okay. No, I'm thinking Wake Up Sunshine. That had
Denver plays Eminem on 2 times speed because it's not fast enough for it.
Sorry.
But no, I thought Monsters was great. But number one for me, and I can honestly probably hands down say this is now my favourite all-time low song they've ever done. And it is probably purely based on his vocals in the chorus, and that is Safe, which is probably the song that Denver was actually trying to talk about, because I know the verses are a bit slower compared to the chorus, but for me the chorus just brings the song out so much, and I just love that song. It completely took me by surprise, but it's great, fantastic. All in all, an amazing album. Proper surprised me how good it is. Because I think I can't remember what I rated the last all-time low album we did. I don't think I rated it that high, but yeah, this is definitely better.
You gave it a 7.
I gave it a 7. Oh shit. Okay.
What was that? Shit.
Shit. I haven't rated this higher at all.
I gave it a 5.
Well,
that was a quick review for you, Will.
Just because I haven't really got anything bad to say about it. It's proper, just full on, favourite place as well. There's another honourable mention. That's a great song. I just think every song has a really solid chorus. It's just there's a few weaker ones that don't have as much about them. I just think nearly every song is really good, but yeah, I just think solid.
It's all good. We can make Will's bit longer. We just got to interrupt him a bit more.
Yeah, that's usually why man along. Because
all right. How about fuck, marry, kill Hitler circa 1940s, Colonel Sanders or Mr. Price? Mr. Price, Captain Price. But before he's a captain, so he is Mr. Price.
All right, I'd marry Captain Price.
Mr. Price.
Mr. Price.
Fuck Colonel Sanders, kill Hitler.
Fuck Hitler, kill Colonel Sanders.
Kill Colonel, no.
No, poor Colonel.
Joking.
Not the Colonel.
He makes the chicken. He'd literally make you chicken for breakfast.
He was probably an asshole.
Oh my god.
Imagine that.
That's a great guy.
Let's be
I
honest.
didn't even know he was a real guy.
Everyone knows that Kentucky wasn't even a real place. It was a lie made up by the government.
And what's a fry?
Exactly.
What's fried?
It's just the first part of the word Friday.
Exactly. It's not real.
Arguably, worst day of the week.
I mean, what's a chicken? It's not chicken, is it?
Flightless bird.
Fucking shit.
Thanks, Will. Joe.
All-time low. This is a band.
Stop right there.
Thanks,
right.
Joe.
Thanks. As always, I am correct. And so, I don't know if Will knows this, but All Time Low is the first band that I saw live.
Ooh.
Did you guys see them together?
Me and Aidan did. And that was when their album Future Hearts came out. And that was when I was into them as well. And then I kind of went out of my all-time low phase. They kind of got very samey, and I was I'm fed up of listening to them. And then this album, the album before this album didn't really vibe with me. I gave it a listen. I was like, no. And this album, yeah, baby, yeah,
baby.
I'm a fan. It's good, and it seems to have this habit with Will's picks, but I always end up with Will's album picks adding some of the songs onto my playlist, and it's no different with this album.
Hell yeah.
So one thing I noted about this album was, and it was really weird because Denver almost said this, strong choruses, okay verses is what I wrote, and that kind of was fluent throughout the entire album, in my opinion. I thought all the choruses had like a really good hook, but all the verses sometimes just lost me a bit, if that makes sense. Another thing was, I feel like the album's too long. It gets a bit, I think individual songs, great, but I think you listen to the album.
It was shorter than the album you picked.
Yeah, I know, but that was good.
Right, okay.
Oh my word.
It was a joke.
You're right.
I don't know.
It better
That
be a
type of-
fucking joke.
That type of music holds me better, It comforts me at night.
Weird, because it feels like it's dropped me down a staircase.
Feels like my arm's been amputated.
Man.
It feels like I'm fucking Colonel Sanders.
Feels like
The first time.
BDSM.
Oh.
Did you guys see this? Just what you guys just said. It reminded me of that. That Donald Trump said, if you inject yourself with bleach, it'll kill your coronavirus.
It will.
It will, but also kill you in the process.
Like, people are actually going to do that shit.
I know.
Because,
We've had people like Joe Biden who's literally put a tweet out saying, I can't believe I have to say this, but please don't drink bleach. Oh, it's so bad.
That's really bad, isn't it? Like...
Come on, pussy, just a shot of bleach.
Oh, man.
I said this before. I said we should do a drinking game where we fill up shot glasses, and it's like a roulette, but 3 of them are bleach.
No, that would kill us, Aidan.
What?
That would literally kill us.
Yeah, it's a bit of roulette, though, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right.
Bit of fun. You take a shot, blind now. Everyone's like, ha ha ha, that was bleach.
Yeah, you do an eye shot. Fucking hell. Oh,
An
my
eye
God.
shot.
Oh, God.
An eye shot
What?
of bleach.
It's just pure heroin at that point.
Fucking hell.
Quickest way to get it, boys.
Oh, man. No, don't be stupid. Don't drink bleach. For
Don't
fuck's
I
sake.
drink bleach.
Don't. Exclusively, I drink bleach.
I know, and I know this is a bit off topic as well, but another statistic also
that we weren't already off topic.
60%.
I don't like Denver's tone.
No.
I get the impression that he's not happy that we're this far off topic.
60% of Americans disagree with it being in lockdown.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I'm just
America's
like,
not in proper lockdown, though, is it?
I know, and but
Neither
they're still
are we,
protesting. I'm like, we're not even allowed to do anything.
Thing is, it's just recommended. Like, even if you do, you're not going to get arrested.
It's not. It's recommended.
You get fined, though.
It's not. You get fined, and you are not allowed to go out. Good old Boris didn't sit on the news and go, we recommend you don't go outside. He went, you're not allowed. You may only do this.
Yeah, people are still doing what they want.
And also, they're letting people outside to clap for the NHS. I'm saying, start locking them people up when they go
Clap
out.
inside, bitches.
The moment they step outside, they're like, so you've been nicked, son. No, I was only clapping for the NHS. Nah, you're going in.
They used it as bait.
You're going to the slammer.
You're going to a gulag.
We're in the gulag,
boys. 1v1.
Jesus. Right, sorry, back to the album.
Karen, aged 52, mother of 1, in the gulag.
Pregnant lady, 9 months, forced to fight in the gulag.
Oh, God, the gulag is horrible.
Right, anyway, back to the album. Least favourite song. Now, this might be a bit of a controversial one. Because, as previously said, I liked every song on this album. Didn't really have an issue with any of them. And my least favourite I put as Monsters.
Shock.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't shocked by that. Joe's exclusively gone for the wrong answers every time. Being different isn't a personality trait, Joe.
The reason is because I felt like it was one of the more catchy songs, and I know that directly contradicts.
I picked this as my worst song because it was the best song on the album.
Hear me out.
And I hate that.
Hear me out.
If anything, it wasn't shit enough.
Because it was the most catchy, it got in my head. And it was like haunting me. And it became annoying how catchy it was.
Joe, what the fuck are you talking about? The reasoning is so flawed right now.
You know, like the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse song. You love it, but you hate it.
No, because, only love for that song.
No, yeah, I love that song.
Once you hear it, you're like, oh, you can't get to sleep. It was almost like that. Like the melody gets in your head.
Right. I beg to differ. I can only fall asleep if Mickey Mouse Clubhouse is playing.
And the hour-long compilation just isn't long enough.
It's not long enough. Can someone make a 10-hour, please?
Yeah, you're right. But this is still a cracking song. But I had no other reason to give any other song the worst pick.
So you decided to go for the one that you found catchy and couldn't stop singing to be your worst?
Yep.
Okay.
You're a fucking idiot, Joe.
Third favourite.
In this video's description, Joe's a fucking idiot.
Do you know what? I kind of understand Joe here. Because I feel like he's saying he's saying it's catchy, but maybe he doesn't actually like it to begin with, but it's catchy, so he hates it because he doesn't actually like the song that much, but can't stop singing the song in his head. Maybe
Joe,
that's
do you
his
like
approach.
the song?
I do like the song, but
so your entire point is null and void.
Joe, you're a fucking idiot.
You're a fucking idiot.
I tried to help you there, Joe, but no. You've provided no good logic there.
No, because you're right to a degree. It becomes annoying how catchy it is, though. But like, it becomes worsened because of that.
I've never heard such bollocks in my life.
Fucking move on, Joe.
You know what? There's going to be at least one person that watches this.
Stop right there.
Stop right there.
You are right.
There's going to be at least one. And it's
hats off to you, viewer. You're great.
At least one person out of the one viewer that we have will say, I can see where he's coming from. Third favourite. And this again, I don't know if I'm going to get controversy. It was Sleeping In. And here's the controversy. It reminded me of the 1975.
Why is that controversy?
Do you guys agree?
No.
No.
Shit. Why? Look, like, literally, I was like, shit, it's gone to 1975 for some reason, and it wasn't. It was still an all-time low. I genuinely think this song is a 1975 song.
Because 1975 songs are perfection.
Oh, God. This song was great.
It had no hook.
It was... Disagree. It's completely different to what All Time Low usually do.
I really like the chorus.
Which is awesome. The chorus is awesome. I think even this song was like one of them that didn't have an amazingly strong verses, but like there was still like the beat kept you in. You know? Like the kind of the funk of it. I thought it was really cool. Second favourite. Favourite place. Bang Bang. That I think that's just, you know, it's an all-round good pop punk song. That's just your banging thing. Even the band Camino, I don't know if that's a person or a band.
It's a band.
That makes sense.
They are called the band.
Yep.
That's usually a giveaway.
They're not called the person Camino.
Just looking at their Spotify page right now, they're really fucking popular. I've never heard of them.
How popular?
2 million listeners, and their top song has... Shut up, Denver! And their top song has 32 million streams.
That's almost as much as JMMD.
Wow.
So, it's exactly as much as JMMD. Go check it out, link in description.
The link isn't in the description.
The link is going to be in the description.
It's
JMMD
really not.
EP out now.
If you put it in the description, I'm deleting the video.
You know, new song, go check it out. So, yep. I thought their part was really good in it. The singer, I don't know if it was just the singer that was in it or what, but I like the singer in it. I thought it was good. Are you getting fucking bored, Will?
That wasn't me. That wasn't me.
I've never agreed more with Messiah.
Denver, what the fuck?
It's been a long day, okay?
Alright,
That
calm it.
was super mean.
I'll be honest. I wasn't listening to what Joe was saying, so it wasn't really deliberate.
Fucking, yeah. Fuck off.
Oh,
Fuck off. This is going to be another one later where he goes, oh, what's your third favourite again?
You said your third favourite?
Second favourite. He said his second favourite, Denver. Come on now.
Yeah, because I'm writing notes based on what you're saying to give me more leverage of what to say.
It just says wrong.
This is why I feel like I do my best reviewing on Aidan's picks, because I go last, so I've got most notes.
Yeah.
Because you guys inspire me.
You base it on what other people say?
Not always. I have my base notes, but then sometimes people bring up stuff and I'm like, that's a good point. I have a counterpoint to that. Or, I agree with that.
Oh, great.
That's a good point. I disagree with it.
That's Joe's logic.
Yeah.
That's definitely a Denver logic. Anyway.
You can have a good point, but I disagree with it.
Anyway. My first favourite was Pretty Venom.
What the fuck are these choices?
You're actually,
and that's not just you, Joe. That's Will's choices as well.
Joe?
Yeah. Well, I think that makes, if your choices are so different, I think that makes this album just seem so much better. Because I could quite easily, like, if I'd listened again, I think some of those probably might have changed.
Oh, okay. Pretty Venom was Will's least favourite.
Yeah. And Safe
all
was
over
awesome.
the place.
Safe could have almost been there. Pretty Venom, it was just so different, and it was so chill as well. Like, it was an interlude song, but like it was so fucking chill and nice. I really liked it.
Yeah, I put slow, but I like it.
Yeah.
I just thought it was like the weakest because it didn't have that much about it.
It was just like even like the little melody was like, it was just cute and nice. It was like really lo-fi, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I hate the guitar in it. Nah, not a fan.
It's just an acoustic guitar.
Well,
maybe I hate your guitar.
No, I think you're right though when you say usually when the picks are really varied, it's either a good sign or a bad sign. If the picks are varied and it's rated high, then it's a good sign. If the picks are varied and it's rated low, it's a bad sign.
All time low.
You done, Joe?
For fuck's sake. You got any more to say, Joe?
That's it. It was good. I enjoyed it.
I thought this album was pretty good. Like, considering I remember listening to the old album and being like, there's just a bit of nothing. Like, I didn't really feel any of the songs. I felt like, even as an album, this was so good. Like, there wasn't a bad song on it, really. There was just slightly weaker ones. But the problem I had was all the songs. Well, this wasn't really a problem, I guess. But like, all the songs had a similar feel to them, to the point where I thought it was often difficult to remember the songs. Not very memorable. Like, none of them had enough of a hook where I was like, that's the best. But whether that's just because they were all pretty equally good, it wasn't like it was, oh, they had a couple good songs on a shit album, and then the couple good songs I'm like, these are bangers. Like, I feel like there was a good, like, 5 or 6 songs that were pretty good, but even then they weren't, like, good enough where if that came out as a single, I would add it to my Spotify. And
well, would you say collectively as an album you would listen to all the songs?
Yeah, like if someone was like, I'm going to put on the All Time Low Wake Up Sunshine album, I'd be like, yeah, go for it. It's a good album. Like, yeah, there's not really any.
But what if someone turns to you and says, man, I'm going to put on this Wage War album, are you okay with that?
I'd be like, let's skip them all and we'll play the 2 good songs. There was only one song that I genuinely thought when that came up, I was like, I dislike this song. And that was Favourite Place.
Ooh.
What?
Really?
I think the other artist who is in it is horrendous. Every time I heard their voice, it's like, this is like the only song on the album. The second I heard the other artist's voice, I'm like, skip this. This is awful. And even without him in it, it lacks any kind of hook, in my opinion. It's just a bit flat the whole way through. So I just didn't like that. The other songs that were almost my least favourite, but like I say, I did dislike that one. The other ones that were weaker, I didn't dislike so much. It was Basement Noise. I thought that was boring and a bit of a shit finisher for what otherwise was a pretty good album. Favourite Place was my least favourite. And Monster, didn't like Monster either. I thought that was just a bit slow, and the chorus was only kind of okay, whereas some of the other slower verses had really good choruses, whereas that chorus was kind of only okay. So they were kind of my least favourites, whereas every other song on the album, pretty solid. But then getting a most favourite was quite difficult because I did have quite a few favourites. But in the end I went with, and I'm not really too sure on the order of these. Like I said, none of the songs ever really grabbed me enough where I was like, this is amazing. But it did have good songs. Third favourite, Safe. Cracking song. Probably one of the best hooks on the album. And yeah, great song. Second, Trouble Is. Again, really upbeat, really good chorus. I think my favourites were just the most upbeat ones. And number one was Summer Days.
Fuck, you just rattled through these again. I didn't even have time to stop you. Fuck.
It is a pretty upbeat album. It's like quite a summery album. Do you not think?
I was about to say that.
I know that it's called Wake Up Sunshine, but there's not really any sad songs on it. It's all very...
I think the fact that I was sat in my car at work outside with my sunglasses on, having a good old smoke.
Doing crack. Yeah.
I think that was improved it almost because it was like nice weather outside,
Yeah, for sure. I love a good upbeat album, and this kept it throughout, and only had a couple songs which I think were slower, which in terms of the album order, I feel like the songs could have been ordered better, because I felt like all the slower, boringer songs were all in the same part. They were all from Wake Up, Sunshine to Favourite Place. So for those 4 songs, I felt like they were literally the 4, other than Basement Noise, were the 4 worst songs. And they were all back to back. So when I started listening to the album, I'm like, fucking hell, this album's really good. And then I would have a chunk of bad ones and then good again. So I feel like they could have, especially because the ones that I dislike more were the slower ones, I feel like they could have been paced better across the album.
So what you're saying is, if they need a song organiser to call you?
Yes, for sure.
The new song organiser, Denver Wilson,
don't
making his commitments.
And why is Seasons Part 1 and Part 2? Just stick them together, as in put them back to back. Why were they 4 songs apart? So yeah, that was my opinion of the album. Aidan,
we will go all-time low. Before we all came on today, I was actually speaking to Denver about how, despite listening to the album more than the specified amount of times, I still don't feel like I know it, or I know this album. And we actually agreed on that. I don't know. And I don't even know if that's a bad thing or a good thing. It's, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm the hard hammer of truth here. In the sense that, I don't think that we've had an album that struggles to hold my attention as badly as this one did.
Do you think it's because it had no standout
I
song?
think so, yeah. I mean, the thing is, once you push past the fact that it is kind of the majority of the songs are the same, you're left with a pretty solid album. Like, it's still pretty good. I just couldn't ever see past it. I don't know. It's like one of them. You ever had them lollipops with the gum in the middle? It's like one of them. You always just want to get to the gum.
But this album had no gum.
Well, it's like a. But like the gum was always how it is. All I know is that none of the songs were really stood out to me particularly, and I didn't dislike them either. They're just kind of forgettable, a lot of them. All that being said, I did enjoy the album, and it was still all-time low, just like all times. Even if they altered the style a little, it still felt like them. And
yeah, I'd agree with that.
In my opinion, the start of the album's quite strong, in spite of the fact that I think 2 of my favourite songs are from the end of the album. But just I'm a hypocrite.
I would say the same. I'd say the start of the album is pretty strong.
Thank you, Deborah.
Up until Monsters, despite the fact that in my top 3,
I agree.
Despite the fact of my top 3 being, in fact, wait, what was my top 3? Oh yes, despite the fact of my top 3, 2 of them being from the second half of the album.
Fuck Joe Edward. Mm-hmm.
Hey,
what is going on?
My worst song, and I'm surprised no one brought this up. I thought that "Wake Up Sunshine" was the worst song. Yeah, that's right.
I have a theory for why.
Because I found the vocals whiny and lackluster.
It is so Green Day, that song. It's unreal.
I thought that. Holy shit! Yeah.
Is that why? Shit.
Honestly, if you think of Green Day and listen to that song, it is
then I'll
so
probably
Green
kill
Day.
myself.
There was a point where it must have been that song where I thought, it sounds like Green Day.
Well, Green Day is actually all-time low's favourite band. Fun fact.
The thing is, though, when you compare this song to the other song on the albums, or even any of the other songs in their back catalogue, it's just much worse.
That was the one I put. Don't like the riff, and I didn't like the.
And the thing is, the choruses had a similar energy to the verses, so it all felt like one continuous disappointing song. It's kind of like those lollipops with a bubblegum in the middle, but then when they lose their flavour. Do you know what I mean?
I've heard that analogy somewhere before.
No, my third favourite was Monsters.
Good boy.
Because I think that every beat in this song feels quite impactful and big.
Yeah.
It's like I should be paying attention to it, like it's important or something. Because I expected to dislike Mr. Black Bear, but even his bit was alright, listenable. But I feel like, to me, it just I get the impression that they probably had a lot of fun making this song. That sounds really weird, and it's probably not anything that we've ever used before. I feel like it might have been a good time to be in the studio when that was being made.
Yeah, I agree with you, to be fair.
It's like when I used to have fun eating my lollies with bubblegum in when I was younger.
You can kind of feel the vibe from it, can't you? Like they're having fun.
Definitely. Anyway, my second favourite, Sleeping In. Yeah, that's right. Bit of a weird one here. See, I actually found it quite difficult not to bob my head along with this song, because I thought that it had an ability to get me hyped up even though I was doing nothing. And the song being about sleeping in connected to me, on a spiritual level.
I know how you feel.
And because who doesn't love sleep? And I feel like it had a really, no one, I don't know if anyone mentioned this, but I feel like the chorus had a real busted vibe.
Very much so.
And it gave me real nostalgia for being young again. And it reminded me of being young and going down the shops and getting my lolly with bubblegum in it. Number 1 was Glitter and Crimson, because of course it was.
Really?
Yeah, you could call that, to be fair.
I know, but I was listening to it, it's just such an average acoustic song.
It's not really an acoustic song, it's just the chorus.
Exactly. Yeah, because although the lyrics can be pretty cringe, it's one of the only songs on the album that actually, from the first listen, stuck out to me as different, which is probably the reason I like it the most. I really love the hard contrast in the song. I really love the hard contrast in the song itself, as in the contrast between the choruses and the verses, and then the bridge that leads to the satisfying payoff of the final chorus, where all the instruments come together in one big crescendo. Is that the word?
100%.
Yeah, and the downtime with the acoustic guitar is it's really what does it for me. And I think I love that song more than I love Lollies with Bubblegum in it. To be perfectly honest.
Is it up there? Is it up there for you and your favourite acoustic songs?
Definitely not, but it's still really good. Honourable mention, Some Kind of Disaster was a cracking opener to the album.
Yeah, that was almost in my top 3, Some Kind of Disaster, just because it was such a good start.
Yeah, it really was. Really, and the thing is, it was a good album. If you can get past the initial sort of, I don't know, it's almost like a wall. You got to listen to it a few times before you really get it, and even then I feel like I didn't. But I still enjoyed it. Still liked it. Good album. I rate it 3 out of a possible 7 lollies.
Were they the ones with bubblegum in it? Or?
Yeah. No, the bubblegum lollies.
It's rating time, boys. Well.
8.
7.5.
7.5.
7.5.
Wow.
Fuck me, it's a true 30.
Oh my god, it's a 30.
Hey,
It's
nice.
a true 30.
Shit.
Wow, it's a classic the cab thing where it's a true 30, but it only just gets in the 30. It's a 30.5. I'll be honest, Will. You've been saved by me and your true 30 at the last minute here because I changed my rating at the last minute.
Wow.
Right, you say that, but all the other times you fucked me over.
I know,
for
it would
that
have been...
true 30.
I kind of wish I didn't
makes
change...
up for it.
I kind of wish I didn't change it now because I would have fucked you over again with the same rating. I gave it a 7. And as we were talking about it and I was going through, I was just like, you know what, it's good enough to be a 30. So I have to give it a 7.5.
It is. Like, I definitely think it deserves that 30 benchmark because there isn't really anything bad about it.
What did the other all-time low album get?
Like 26 or something? Let me have a look.
Because the generic rating.
26, yeah.
Awesome. I think, yeah, it's definitely better than that album.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you?
Yeah. Well, in spite of the fact that I did say it was slow and I couldn't really get a grasp on it, it still was good.
I feel like it's one of them things.
Never for a second did I say it was ever a bad album.
You didn't, to be fair. I think it's just like because you said about that thing, it kind of makes you think. It sounds like you didn't enjoy it, but then you did.
Negativity, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
I am literally a walking ball of negativity.
Fuck's sake.
Like, you know this. You've literally been friends with me for fucking 10 years now, Will.
I think you're a warm
fuzzy ball
of negativity.
Fuzzy ball. No. I don't know.
Come on, Will. I want to hear it now. I'm warm.
I was going to say something, but it completely threw me off. It threw me off what you said.
Warm, fuzzy, what?
Oh, I know what I was going to say now. I feel like this album is one of them things where it'll just grow on you over time as well.
Maybe, but I agree about 6 times, though.
I agree with that, Will. I wish we had more time to listen to the album.
What?
100%. You have more time. What the fuck
do you mean
on
more
about?
time?
Yeah.
You're literally the man with the most time.
We had a whole week.
How?
Right, yeah, but you think... I'm on Joe's side here.
Well, no, fuck off.
Fuck off. No one's allowed on Joe's side.
No one's allowed on Joe's side.
You can listen to an act like Denver, Don Broco. Go fuck yourself. You rated that low, and now you'd think it was an 8.
How am I the man with the most time? We had equal amount of time to listen to this album.
Wrong.
Didn't you have the start of the week off?
Oh, God.
Pretty sure you worked the least.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, I don't work.
No, you worked.
I worked the least.
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
So therefore had the most time.
More time.
Yeah, but that's not what I mean. I don't mean time is in respect to that. I mean, I would like to.
Yeah, time is relative.
Album.
If you think about it, Denver, if Joe was sat in his room for 12 hours, what's 12 hours to your 1 hour? Is it the same amount of time? Probably, because you did more in that 1 hour than Joe did in the 12.
You're right.
Time's relative.
No, I know what Joe... I'm with Joe on this, because,
again,
even though
don't even
a week is not enough time to...
Love an
Absolutely it is.
No, it is to get like your initial what you think of an album, 100%. But like, I think with every album over time, like your opinions can change on them.
Yeah,
this
is
100%.
This is for sure. But okay, yeah, you're right. There's too many albums I look back on now, and album reviewing would change.
Exactly.
I love that whenever I make a stupid comment, at least one of you sides with me.
Every time someone has to stick up for Jeff.
Well, I tried to stick up for you earlier, and then you still denied my help.
I can't stick up for you.
Because you wouldn't come back if we all just went against you constantly.
You would just get new
Never
friends.
be here, say stupid shit.
What's the next album?
I don't fucking know.
You haven't picked it.
Well, I kind of have. I don't know. Subject to change potentially within the next 20 minutes or not.
20 minutes?
But the one I've got time to keep clicking through.
No, I'm going to pass out in a minute.
Why are you going to pass out?
Because I had to turn my aircon off to do this, and it's so bloody hot in here.
Yeah, I've had to shut my window. It's pretty hot.
I mean, so should we just take a bit more time to talk about the album?
No.
No.
Just pick your goddamn
We established it's a 30. Will's looked out that I changed my mind.
I've picked Wasteland Baby by Hosier.
Okay.
Because I've never heard any of the songs on this album. So, yeah. And also he's underwater, and that's how I feel.
Fuck me, I did not expect that.
The old
I was
stuff,
fully
really.
expecting you to pick 5 Seconds of Summer.
Nah.
Guys, emergency.